Did you know that your everyday grocery staples might skyrocket in price this February? Picture this, stepping into your local store, witnessing aisles that look empty and paying an outrageous premium for basic items like eggs or bread. Sounds crazy, right? But it's happening, and the reasons will blow your mind. Today we're breaking down the 12 grocery products that are set to become shockingly expensive or even completely vanish this February. If you think inflation was bad last year, this is the wake-up call you didn't know you needed. From massive supply chain failures to seasonal demand spikes that you'll never see coming, we're exposing the cold, hard truth behind these price surges. Trust me, this is going to hit your wallet way harder than you expect. And stick around because the one item on our list is something most of us count on daily, and you might not find it anywhere soon. If saving money and avoiding nasty surprises is something you care about, then smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You'll get all the real talk and insider tips to stay ahead of the game. All right, no more fluff. Let's get right into it. Number 1, beef and veal. Brace yourselves, because beef and veal are about to wreck your February grocery budget. These once indulgent holiday staples have shifted from being a celebration centerpiece to a financial headache. What's fueling this ridiculous price surge? A brutal combo of disappearing supplies and unrelenting demand is driving costs through the stratosphere. Here's how it got this bad. Cattle herds across the U.S. have been shrinking at an alarming rate, all thanks to widespread droughts. Ranchers are in survival mode. Water supplies are vanishing, feed prices have skyrocketed, and keeping livestock alive has become a nightmare. The result? Fewer cattle being sent to market, which means less beef and veal for the rest of us. And surprise, surprise, when there isn't enough supply, prices go haywire. Now, add to that a demand problem that just won't quit. People are still craving their hearty favorites: roast beef dinners, veal cutlets, juicy ribeye steaks. These dishes aren't just food, they're tradition. And while demand climbs higher, supply completely fails to keep up. Meat counters everywhere are playing a losing game trying to stock basic cuts, and shoppers are left scrambling to find their go-to proteins. Wholesale beef prices have already risen sharply over the last 6 months, and yep, those costs are hitting store shelves, punching directly into your wallet. But don't think it's just about paying more. Even if you're ready to shell out for that overpriced steak, chances are your preferred cut won't even be there. High-demand items like ribeye or veal chops are becoming rarer than gold, and good luck catching them in stock. If you don't plan ahead, you'll be left staring at empty shelves. Want to actually enjoy beef in February? Here's your warning to stock up now. Pro tip for those who refuse to give up their beef cravings without a fight: buy smarter. If you've got freezer space, consider bulk buying. Larger portions, like a whole brisket or even a quarter of a cow, can make a big difference in cost over time. Or go for underrated cuts like chuck or flank. They're packed with flavor when cooked properly and won't vaporize your bank balance. Number 2, fresh fruits. Fresh fruits are about to become a luxury item, people, so brace yourselves. Have you noticed how those shiny berries or colorful citrus fruits practically scream special occasion when you walk through the grocery store? Well, there's a reason for that. Prices for fresh fruits take a steep hike during the colder months, and February won't be any kinder to your wallet. Here's the cold, hard truth. A lot of the fruits you love, like blueberries, strawberries, and anything remotely exotic, are either completely out of season locally or shipped from halfway across the globe. February in the U.S.? Forget about picking fresh berries from your neighbor's garden. Most stores are stocked with imports from places like Mexico, Chile, and Peru at this time of year. Sounds nice, right? Wrong, because getting those fruits to your grocery store isn't cheap, thanks to transportation and rising fuel costs. That extra cost? Yup, it's coming straight out of your pocket. But imports aren't the only thing driving up those prices. Even homegrown fruits aren't spared. Take apples, for example. Sure, they're harvested in the fall, but by February you're not munching on freshly picked apples anymore. Those apples have been holed up in storage warehouses for months, which isn't free. Controlled environments and storage fees? Guess who's paying for that? That's right, you. Meanwhile, fruits like peaches, grapes, or berries, which scream summer vibes, they're hard to find and carry a premium sticker price during winter. Oh, and then there's demand. Let's not forget the Super Bowl spreads, Valentine's Day dinner parties, and every other excuse we find to munch on lavish charcuterie boards these days. Everyone suddenly decides they need oranges, mandarins, or pomegranates during this time, and surprise, surprise, that demand makes it harder to keep shelves stocked. The more people want it, the more prices shoot through the roof. And don't even get me started on crop yields. Oranges and other citrus fruits might have their peak season in winter, but they're not immune to poor harvests. Bad weather, disease, or smaller yields can send prices into orbit. We've all seen it happen with avocados. One bad year and suddenly you're shelling out half your paycheck for guacamole. Want to survive the price explosion? Stop chasing the fruits that don't belong in February and stick with what's actually in season. Pears, cranberries, and citrus varieties like clementines are the sweet spot, literally. They're more affordable because they're natural to this time of year. Oh, and buying local, that's a bonus for both freshness and your bank account. 3. Cereals and bakery products. All right, let's talk about cereals and bakery products. The MVPs of breakfast and those carb-loaded treats we secretly can't live without. But here's the cold, hard truth. This February, your favorite loaf of bread or that box of cereal you grab without thinking might as well come with a luxury price tag. Why? Wheat. Plain and simple, wheat is the backbone, the lifeblood, the reason anything from bread to pastries even exists. And right now, it's messing with your wallet. The whole chain starts with wheat, and things are looking rough. Global wheat production has been hammered by bad weather and insane farming expenses this year. That means it costs more to grow. Then comes steep shipping fees to get it from the farm to the factory. And guess who ends up eating those costs? Yep, you. And February? Oh, February is another level of madness. Everyone's still in winter comfort mode, hoarding bread for soups, croissants for lazy mornings, and baking enough cookies to bribe anyone into any favor. You know what that means? As demand skyrockets, prices follow. And don't even get me started on cereal, the so-called cheap and easy breakfast. Those brightly colored boxes are grinning at you, but behind that happy little mascot is sky-high grain prices. And they're all headed up to the major. Whether you're crunching on flakes or feeling virtuous with some plain oatmeal, prepare to cringe when you see the price tag. Bakery goods aren't safe either. Let's not forget the other big player here, butter. Prices for butter are taking off, and because it's the star ingredient in everything buttery and flaky, cake, pie crust, cinnamon rolls, you name it, your favorite treats are also taking a hit. Want that buttery croissant? Better take out a loan. But here's the kicker. You can fight back. If you're into baking, or even if you're not but you're sick of insane prices, consider bulk buying flour. Sure, it's an upfront cost, but it'll save you later. Plus, making bread or cookies from scratch sounds way cooler than just buying them. Bonus points for impressing everyone at your next brunch or party. Number 4. Fresh vegetables. All right, let's head over to the fresh vegetables aisle, your go-to spot for salads, side dishes, and everything in between. But here's the harsh truth. If you've noticed you're paying more for your greens lately, you're not going crazy. Prices are climbing, and it's no mystery why. Seasonal shifts have thrown certain vegetables completely off their game. The reality is, the veggies you probably grab without thinking, like lettuce, broccoli, and bell peppers, are just not built for this time of year. They hate the cold. Winter's frosty grip makes it almost impossible to grow them locally. You know what that means? Farmers rely on pricey imports or energy-guzzling greenhouse setups, and all those added costs land right on your grocery bill. And sure, root vegetables like carrots and potatoes are holding their ground. They're champs when it comes to braving the chill. But tender greens, spinach, romaine, even fancy lettuces, they're taking a real hit. Frost damage wipes out large portions of these fragile crops, leaving us with limited supply. And you know how it works. Less supply plus higher demand, hello, veggie-packed casseroles and party salads, equals skyrocketing prices. Now, here's the deal. If you're not ready to fork out a fortune for salads this February, it's time to be smart about your shopping. Do yourself a favor and stick to vegetables that are actually in season. Winter is prime time for hearty options like squash, cabbage, and Brussels sprouts. These bad boys can handle the cold and are way cheaper because there's plenty of them available. Plus, they add that perfect comfort food vibe to your meals. 5. Imported goods. All right, let's talk about imported goods. Those fancy flavors and must-have staples that bring a world of taste into your home. Yeah, they're getting ridiculously expensive. Whether it's that rich, creamy Italian Parmesan you love or your go-to tropical fruit, imported groceries are taking a massive hit. And your wallet is too. The reason why? Tariffs, trade policies, and a whole bunch of global chaos. Here's the deal. When countries slap tariffs, basically taxes, on goods coming in from abroad, it makes those items more expensive. It's straightforward math. Now, toss in trade disputes, broken or renegotiated agreements, and suddenly your favorite jar of authentic olive oil or that gorgeous box of imported Swiss chocolates costs double or triple what it used to. Oh, and we're not done yet. Factor in skyrocketing fuel costs and major supply chain issues. And now shipping those items is a logistical nightmare. The result? A terrifying price tag. And don't think this only hits the bougie stuff like truffles or French wines. Think bigger! Everyday basics, coffee, bananas, even something as simple as canned tuna are all caught in this mess. Families that rely on these familiar staples for their weekly meals are now facing grocery bills that make you want to scream at the checkout counter. It's not just inconvenient, it's a flat-out punch to your butt. What can you do? Well, you might hate it, but the easiest fix is swapping those imported favorites for local alternatives. No, they won't taste exactly the same, nothing beats authentic, but they can slash your grocery bill and keep you sane. Plus, you might stumble across a local gem you actually enjoy. Bit of a silver lining there. Number 6, packaged snacks. Packaged snacks. Those go-to lifesavers for movie marathons, road trips, or midnight cravings might start feeling more like a guilty pleasure for your wallet this February. Need some chips for the big game? Great! Just don't faint when you see the price tag. Those once affordable treats are creeping up in cost faster than you can mutter, "Pass the salsa." What's to blame? Surprise, surprise. It's the supply chain drama yet again. Turns out your chips are stuck in their own chaotic reality show, plagued by transportation delays, labor shortages, and skyrocketing shipping costs that make snack logistics one big, expensive mess. And guess who gets the privilege of funding this disaster? You. Yep, you're the star of this unfortunate plot twist, standing in the snack aisle trying to justify spending $7 on tortilla chips. But wait, there's more. Let's talk about the price of ingredients. Wheat, sugar, and oils, the trifecta of everything tasty, are now premium goods. Their costs are shooting up higher than the sugar high you'd get from demolishing an entire pack of cookies. Snack companies? They're doing all they can to keep up, but good luck finding sympathy there. When your favorite box of crackers costs the same as a fancy dessert, it's hard not to feel like you're being played. Even the packaging can't catch a break. Cardboard, plastic, those costs are spiking too. Apparently, it's not just what's inside the box that's expensive. Now we're paying up for the privilege of the box itself. Honestly, at this rate, they might as well slap a luxury item sticker on your chips and call them crispy treasures. Forget cookies. They've officially been rebranded as flour gems. Still, there's a glimmer of hope in all this madness. Enter store brands, the unsung heroes of frugal shopping. They don't have the fancy logos or flashy marketing, but they deliver where it counts. Taste and budget. Want to save even more? Stock up on sales or DIY your own snacks. A bowl of homemade popcorn never judged you, and it won't blow a hole in your budget either. Number 7, eggs. Listen up, because we're about to talk about the breakfast favorite that's suddenly turning into a luxury item. Eggs? Yes, eggs. The humble dozen you used to grab without a second thought is now burning a hole in your wallet, and it's only going to get worse. Here's the cold, hard truth. Egg prices in the U.S. have already skyrocketed over the last year. We're talking about a jump you can't ignore. A dozen eggs now costs you around $4.20 on average. That's nearly double what you were paying just 2 years ago. But wait, it gets worse. Experts are saying prices could climb even higher this December and into next year. Why? Because you've got a nasty cocktail of problems brewing. Bird flu outbreaks have wiped out millions of hens. Feed costs for poultry farmers are insane, and demand is about to blow through the roof. Think about it. Holidays mean more eggs, Christmas cookies, Thanksgiving desserts, New Year's breakfasts. You name it, it needs eggs. And that demand, it drives prices straight up. Here's something else no one tells you. Eggs are ridiculously picky when it comes to storage. If you want them to stay fresh longer, you need to store them at or below 40 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 4 degrees Celsius for some of you. You need no excuses here. This slows bacterial growth and keeps them edible longer. Not doing this, you're wasting even more money. Worried about future price hikes? Get ahead of the game now. Stock up, but don't hoard a fridge full of cartons, because here's the trick. Freeze them. Yeah, you heard that right. Crack them into a bowl, whisk them up, and pour the mix into ice cube trays or freezer bags. Toss them in the freezer, and you've got eggs that'll last up to a year. Imagine not having to deal with January's egg sticker shock. Sounds pretty good, but here's the kicker. This isn't just a December thing. The bird flu? Still a problem. Feed prices? Not coming down anytime soon. Experts are saying we could see sky-high egg prices well into next year. What does that mean for you? That weekly grocery trip is looking more like a financial pitfall. 8-ish pork. Let's talk pork. Because if you thought beef and veal prices were shocking, wait until you see what's happening with this beloved household staple. Bacon, sausage, ham, ribs, you name it, pork is everywhere. Which means its skyrocketing price isn't something you can ignore. Here's the blunt truth. pork production is in bad shape. Feed costs are out of control, processing plants are struggling with labor shortages, and stricter farming regulations are struggling everything down. Add in extreme weather messing with hog farming, and what do you get? Fewer pigs, less pork, and way higher prices. If you've noticed your grocery bill creeping up, you're not imagining things. It's hitting everyone hard. But this isn't just about supply issues. Oh no, it gets worse. Demand for pork is insane right now. The holidays were a big driver. Think about all those glazed hams on Christmas tables or the sizzling bacon served up for family breakfasts. People wanted pork, and they wanted it in bulk. But the real kicker? This crazy demand isn't staying in the United States. Globally, pork remains a must-have for so many cuisines, especially in countries where it's a dietary staple. International buyers are swooping in, snapping up what little supply exists, leaving U.S. shoppers to fight over what's left and pay through the nose for it. The grocery store price tags you're seeing aren't just inflated because of domestic issues. No, they're being pulled into an international tug-of-war. And guess who's footing the bill? You. What most people don't realize is that pork prices always spike in December because of holiday demand. But this isn't your typical seasonal bump. Those supply chain issues, they're sticking around. From hiked-up bacon prices to disappearing ham specials, pork costs aren't done climbing. If you're planning to dish up pork next month, prepare for some serious sticker shock. And don't even think about bacon. Prices for that crowd favorite are absolutely through the roof. Bacon is now a premium product. Those cheaper pork roasts or shoulders? Yeah, they might still be somewhat affordable today, but prices are rising across the board. Bottom line? You'd better grab what you need now, because come February, pork might just feel priceless. Literally. 9. Dairy products. All right, folks, let's talk dairy. You know the fridge regulars we all depend on? Milk, cheese, butter? Yeah, those trusty staples? Well, heads up, because in February, they just might burn a hole through your wallet. Not even kidding. Milk and all its creamy counterparts are climbing the price ladder like they're auditioning for the stock market. Why? Because cows apparently decided to underperform this season. Here's the deal. Milk production is down. Way down. Farmers are feeling the heat thanks to skyrocketing feed costs, extreme weather, and smaller dairy herds. Less milk means higher prices for everything it touches. Cheese, butter, sour cream, you name it. Thanks, Mother Nature. Thanks a lot. Now imagine February, that awkward middle point of winter where hearty comfort food is the mood. You're thinking creamy chowders, buttery biscuits, and gooey mac and cheese to fight the cold, right? Well, brace yourself, because getting your hands on dairy might cost you an arm and a leg. Suddenly that cheddar for your sandwiches seems more like a luxury splurge than a grocery staple. And don't even start on butter. It's practically the gold bar of your shopping cart. Oh, and fancy imported dairy products? Forget about it. That brie or parmesan from Europe? Good luck. Rising transportation costs are making them even more expensive to import, which means they're going to be ridiculously overpriced by the time you're layering them on your charcuterie board. Cheese platter goals? More like budget destruction. Want some survival tips? Here's your warning. Grab butter now while it's still somewhat affordable and throw it in the freezer. Yes, butter freezes, people. Future you will thank current you when you're baking cookies and not sobbing over the price tag in a month. And if milk's your worry, shelf-stable or powdered milk ain't glamorous, but it won't leave you stranded during your next morning coffee crisis. But long story short, dairy is about to flex on your budget in February. Milk, cheese, cream, they're all acting like VIPs on your grocery list. Honestly, at this rate, butter deserves its own security detail. But hey, if you've got a February grocery haul planned, consider this your heads up. Be ready to adjust because dairy is officially in the priceless club. Number 10. Fish and seafood. All right, let's cut straight to it. Fish and seafood. There's actually a bit of good news here, but don't get too excited just yet. Recently, seafood prices have taken a welcome dip. Shrimp, salmon, and other ocean delights are finally feeling a little more within reach, at least for now. Think of it as a small mercy during a time when grocery prices seem to climb higher than gas stations on a holiday weekend. But brace yourselves, because this price drop is not going to stick around for long. Why? Let's break it down. Global fishing yields have been steady, which has caused a slight surplus in supply. Basically, there's been just enough seafood to keep prices tame, for now. But here's the kicker. December isn't just some random month in the seafood world. It's the big leagues. Everyone wants crab legs, lobster, and that cozy bowl of clam chowder for their holiday feasts. Demand is already ramping up like a freight train. And here's what happens next. As soon as that surplus gets devoured by holiday customs and people trying to be fancy at family meals, prices are going to shoot up again faster than you can say, pass the butter. The truth is, the seafood aisle is about to be one of the most cutthroat corners of the grocery store. If you love your seafood, now's the time to stock up before things get ugly. But wait, it gets worse. Don't forget about imports. A lot of seafood we eat isn't even caught anywhere near where we live. That means prices can be heavily impacted by rising shipping costs and unpredictable weather messing with supply chains. One storm or one delayed shipment, and your New Year's dinner plans could turn into frozen fish sticks instead of salmon fillets. The smart move right now? Act fast. Seafood freezes exceptionally well, so if you've got room in your freezer, go all in. Grab those shrimp, fish, and whatever else you love while prices are still playing nice. Otherwise, you might be paying 3 times as much for the same stuff come February, when everyone's still craving that taste of the sea and the stock is running dry. 11. Poultry products. Poultry prices are absolutely soaring right now, and February is shaping up to be no better. If you're planning to throw some chicken wings on the grill for a game day or roast a turkey for a big family dinner, get ready to fork over more cash than you'd like. The reason? We've got a perfect storm in the poultry market, and it's hitting your wallet hard. Here's why. First off, it's the birds themselves. Or really, the lack of them. Avian influenza has ripped through farms like wildfire, leaving millions of chickens and turkeys dead in its wake. Less poultry on farms means less poultry on shelves, and you guessed it, prices shoot up. It's basic supply and demand, folks. When there isn't enough to go around, you'll end up paying premium prices just to get what's left. Now, add December and the holiday season into the mix. People have been snapping up turkeys and chickens faster than stores can restock. Game days, family dinners, parties, you name it. This is peak poultry season. Everyone is scrambling to grab what they need, causing demand to spike higher than it has all year. When you combine a major reduction in supply with skyrocketing demand, the result is inevitable. Prices on poultry aren't just high, they're jaw-dropping. And don't think frozen poultry is going to be some magical loophole either. Even those trusty bags of frozen chicken tenders or wings are costing more than usual. Here's why. Feeding and raising chickens has gotten way more expensive. Grain prices have been climbing steadily, and that extra cost gets dumped on farmers, processors, and eventually you, the shopper. By the time that frozen bag makes it to your cart, it's been marked up to cover all those rising production expenses. 12. Canned goods. Canned goods might not be the flashiest thing on your grocery list, but they're absolute lifesavers when it comes to quick dinners and stocking your emergency pantry. And here's the kicker. Those lowly cans? Yeah, they're about to cost you more than you'd expect. Thanks to skyrocketing aluminum prices and supply chain chaos, canned goods are getting expensive fast. That quick stop to grab a few cans of soup, or tomatoes, it's starting to feel like an investment strategy instead of a casual errand. Here's the deal. Aluminum, the backbone of canned food packaging, isn't cheap anymore. It's no secret that global production costs are climbing, but when it hits your wallet in the form of a can of beans, it gets real. Layer on transportation delays and the shortage of workers everywhere, and what used to be weeknight dinner staples are now inching towards splurge territory. But it doesn't stop there. Winter months inspire us to whip up hearty, comforting meals. Think about it. Stews, chili, casseroles. What do they all have in common? Canned ingredients. Everyone's out there buying the same stuff at the same time, and guess what happens next? Bam! Demand goes through the roof, supplies run low, and prices climb even higher. Don't panic yet. There are ways to play this smart. Next up, first off, skip the fancy cans. Trust me, you're not tasting the difference. Go for store brands, or better yet, grab those multi-packs. Cheaper per can and lasts you longer. Second, if you spot a sale, pounce. This isn't the time to hesitate. Stocking up on basics like canned corn, beans, or soup now could save you from overpaying later.